Hey you guys, this is Sarah Misatifa 117 here, otherwise known as Sarah Serenity, and I know that it's been almost 2 years since I even recorded a video, but the reason why I'm doing one now is to give my opinion, or at least my input, of what I want out of the show Game of Thrones. Now for anyone who is like me, or who was like me, yes, I had a very sour opinion about Game of Thrones right before I started watching it. And to this day, yeah, I still think it's too violent and basically a medieval porn. But I will admit there are some good storylines to it. Now, here's the reason why I'm making this video is because this is what I think may end up happening in either season 6, 7, or 8 of Game of Thrones. Number 1, I think that Arya, the youngest Stark, well, she's not the youngest, but youngest female Stark, she has more than a right to kill Cersei. Like, I know that a lot of people will say, oh, Sansa has every right, Arya has every right, Jon Snow has every right, Daenerys has every right. Yes, they all have their every right to do it. But Arya is the one that was most inflicted. Like, apart from Sansa, with the way that she was treated, but Arya is the youngest. She saw it all. And if she couldn't kill Cersei, then the least that she can do, the least that I want to happen, is to see her kill Walder Frey. Walder Frey is the guy who is responsible for her mother and brother's death. And it's because of that, that she harbors all this anger, and the reason why she went to join the Faceless Men. Although, in all honesty, I don't think she's going to stay in that group very long, because eventually she wants to get her revenge, and avenge her family's deaths. Now, for Daenerys Targaryen. I do believe that she will eventually come to Westeros. Do I believe that she will conquer it? I'm not very sure now. Because if all of you guys have kept up with Game of Thrones, then by now you know that she escaped from Meereen and she's by herself, and she, I guess you could say, was captured by another tribe, one with a larger army. But I do believe that eventually she will go back to Meereen, get her army, and somehow make it to Westeros, or maybe she'll make an alliance with this army that took her, or something like that. But I do believe that she's one of the two main people I think that will literally take the Iron Throne at Westeros. A lot of people think it will still be Stannis or another person. I believe it'll either be Daenerys or Jon Snow. Reason for him, I'll get back to later. Now, Sansa. Sansa has every right to kill Cersei, Walder Frey, and the Boltons, especially. The Boltons are the ones that turned on her family. And they're the ones that actually led to Catelyn and Robb Stark and his wife being killed. Because he was there to see it all. He was there to watch through everything. And personally, I thought that was one of the most fucked up moments in all the seasons. But that's for another video, another time. Now, also, she has every right to kill Cersei, though. With the way that Cersei portrayed herself, discouraged Sansa. But she also has every right to kill Ramsay Bolton, because he raped her. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Season 5 yet of Game of Thrones, then that's a spoiler. I mean, I haven't actually watched it myself, but I've kept up with all the episodes. And yes, she does get raped by Ramsay Bolton in Winterfell. But now that she's with Theon Greyjoy, or Reek, as many people would call him, maybe those two might end up together. I know that it's very weird to say, but it's just the way that they were looking at each other, the way that they were kind of protecting each other. Could be something out of survival, could be something out of friendship, or maybe they actually have a connection to one another, that they actually show that they care. As for Littlefinger, I think he will eventually, come back to find Sansa, or help her again, or maybe might even wind up taking over Winterfell for the time being, until one of the siblings will come back and take it back. Now, For another reason is one of the things I definitely want to see happen is all the Stark siblings being reunited. Even if it's just once, or at least towards the end of the show. I would love to see Arya, Brandon's little brother, Jon, and Sansa all being able to be reunited and be able to see each other again. Because at this point, no one knows who is alive at this point. Brandon was only able to see Jon Snow for an instant, but then he had to leave. He had to leave him behind. And speaking of which, Jon Snow. Now, I don't know if any of you guys saw the end of Season 5, but in the very last episode, if you guys look and watch very closely, you will see that Jon Snow's eyes, they change color. They go from brown to purple, which means that he does have Targaryen blood in him, or at least that's what everyone is talking about. Now, I've been keeping up with the news for the show, and as I watched subscriber Emergency Awesome, he said that right now they already started filming new locations for season 6. None of the main cast has been on the set yet, but it does make it clear that Jon Snow will come back and he will be alive. Now, because of the fact that his brothers betrayed him, the Brothers of the Wall, he's no longer bound by his oath. Now he can actually be free from that oath to do what he needs to do. And I believe it's going to be two of things. Either he's going to take back Winterfell, or he's going to take the Iron Throne. Now, the reason why I say that is because if you think about it, Ned Stark saw a lot of potential in Jon Snow. Probably a lot more potential than he did in Robb. Yes, it is true that, he could be the bastard child of Ned, or he could be actually a Targaryen. Either way, though, Ned Stark was more of a father figure to him than anyone else. And Jon Snow really looked up to him and Robb. So, Winterfell is his home. But I understand people will probably say that's probably not going to happen. He's probably going to get revenge against the Brothers of the Wall. That probably won't happen right now. I think someone else is going to do that for him. Do I know who it is? No, I do not. I actually need to watch through season 5 once it comes out. Probably with my brother. Or probably with Tom when he moves back down. But, another reason why I say he could be one of the two people that takes the Iron Throne in Westeros is because he has every right. He has Targaryen blood in him. He is basically half Stark, half Targaryen, possibly. Not even possibly. If his eyes were able to change color, then yeah, he would be part Targaryen. But he has every right to do so because of everything that has happened to his family. I mean, he's lost a lot of people he cared about. And, he's been wanting to protect Sansa and Brandon and Arya. He wants to protect what's left of his family, or at least the family that he knows. And not to mention, if you actually watch through the entire show, there are allies for Jon Snow if it gets to the point where he needs a council. And I do believe that if Daenerys and Jon Snow meet, then they may end up together. I'm not too sure. I mean, it would be a really cool pairing to have. But that's my opinion. But, these are the things I think are going to happen, or at least these are the things I want to happen in the new Game of Thrones. Whether it has to happen in Season 6, 7, or 8, because that's apparently how far the seasons are going to go. I would like to see it happen. Now, if you guys have any opinions or any questions or all, please comment in the video below. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you soon. Sarah Sereni, signing out.